Would you like to elevate your brand on LinkedIn? Well, recently I was awarded the top voice badge on LinkedIn. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you about how you can achieve your top badge too. I will share with you how you can achieve the top voice badge as well as gold badges. And I'm going to share some of the strategies and tactics about how I got to the stage and how you can apply the same principles. Enjoy today's episode. What is the top voice badge? What is the different badges and what is it all about? So if you've already been doubling down on personal branding in 2023, now is the opportunity to really stand out from the crowd. And I know Gary Vaynerchuk will probably kill me if I said this. The aim of the game really is happy Friday, everyone, or whenever you're listening to this. And looking forward to today's call, because today's call is all about how you can achieve a top voice badge on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm going to give you the methods. I'm going to give you the breakdown of how I achieve my top voice badge on LinkedIn and how you can too. So welcome to the Business Strategist. Super looking forward to today because I haven't actually done one of these live sessions in ages. But for you guys that are listening to me live, do me a favor, use the hashtag live, use the hashtag replay, of course. That would be super pumped. Now, if you get some value from today, what I was going to say to you in the description notes below, what you can do is you can buy me a cup of tea and a biscuit using the URL below, of course, and you can follow me on the Business Strategist podcast, which is over on Apple or on Spotify. Now, if this is the first time that you're actually seeing me here on LinkedIn Live, please do me a favor, follow me. And also hit that bell notification in the top right-hand corner. So super excited about today. So listen, so today's show is all about how I achieved a top voice badge on LinkedIn and how you can too. So let's go into the gist of today's show, right? Because recently, only 2 weeks ago, of course, I got introduced to the top voice badge program on LinkedIn. And so I want to kind of quickly share with you guys, because there is a couple of programs over on LinkedIn. So there are two types of badges on LinkedIn. You've got what we call the top voice badge, and then you've got what we call a gold badge, right? So again, depending on what your specialism or what your topic is or what you like to talk about, it's going to depend on what badge you're awarded, okay? But one badge is much easier to get to than the other, all right? Now, I've been on LinkedIn for probably the best part of around since 2011, I think it is. And it's taken me this long to get to where I am. But let me give you what is the top voice badge? What is the different badges and what is it all about? So the top voice badge, the blue badge, used to be what we call the influencer program. And it is by invitation only. So which basically means that LinkedIn then send you a invitation to join the program, okay? It is not something that you can apply or send in an application. They see your content as valuable, educational, inspiring, etc., and they invite you to the program. So it's a very tightly knitted community, and it's, not everyone gets offered the opportunity. So it's by invitation only from the LinkedIn guys at head office. So that's the first thing, okay? Secondly, there is what we call a gold badge program, okay? Now, that is much easier to achieve. And I'm going to share you guys 7 key practices about how you can achieve a gold badge on LinkedIn, okay? Now, what's the point in having a badge? Like, seriously, what's the point in having a badge on LinkedIn? Well, first of all, I talked a lot about on the podcast specifically around 2024 being the most important when it comes to personal branding. So if you've already been doubling down on personal branding in 2023, now is the opportunity to really stand out from the crowd. One of the great ways to do that is by getting recognized on a platform like LinkedIn. So one of the things that what tends to happen when your audience is looking to work with you to work with key problems, etc., is they are looking to see that you are who you say you are. And there is a way, and what I call the currency of building trust, right? So trust is the number one currency of today. So if they see you doing live, if they see you doing content, then they're going to trust you. There's going to be less sales objections, and it's going to be easier to close leads and turn them into profitable sales effectively, right? So you've really got to kind of think to yourself, how can you enhance your personal brand even more? And so I've really given some really good tips and strategies on the podcast itself. If you haven't followed the podcast, by the way, it's over on Apple, on Spotify, or any of your good podcasting streaming platforms, of course. Go over and head and listen to the Business Strategist. So that's what the Blue Program is. The Blue Program is by invitation only. In order to do that, and I'm just going to, again, share my experiences about how I got onto the program, is literally by being consistent in the content, right? I'm not a big believer, and I know Gary Vaynerchuk will probably kill me if I said this, but he seems to think that you have to to really get some traction on LinkedIn. You need to be posting 3 times a day. You need to be on every platform. For me, I don't believe in that. I believe in quality over quantity. Now, for people that are not used to creating content, it's extremely overwhelming. And you might be in agreement with me, but it's extremely overwhelming when it comes to saying, okay, you're going from, publishing content on an ad hoc basis to doing 3 times a day on LinkedIn. It's just not feasibly possible unless, of course, you've got a team behind you, right? One of the things that I've done in terms of best practicing is making sure that Monday to Friday, or most days, at least 3 to 4 times a week, is putting out really good quality content. So mixture of carousels, a mixture of just really good text with some images, for example. That's going to be insightful, that gives great opinion. And just kind of like, I found that doing even streaming as well once a week really, really helps as well. We're doing some testing on the streaming, on the live stream as well. So, there's some different benefits here. You can also play around with some polls as well. But carousels, newsletters, if you haven't already done that, then do that. One of the other things in terms of best practices as well, in order to make sure that you get badges as well, is to make sure that your profile is optimized. Okay, what do I mean by that? So when you log into LinkedIn, okay, you'll see that if you have an all-star profile, what that basically means is that your profile is completed 100%, okay? Now, what I would recommend you do, and this is just something that I would do for best practice, is to look at people within your industry that's getting traction on LinkedIn, okay? And it might not even be for people in your industry, but look at people that have really good optimized LinkedIn platforms. What are some of the words that they're using? What sections of their profile are they filling in? One of the things that I found, just kind of for basics, right? Making sure that you've got a profile picture is an absolute 100% must. A background cover, which could just kind of entail a little bit about what you do. And also a really strong headline. So I specialize in X without whatever it might be, okay? So, I always found that by doing that really gives clarity to the audience about trying to connect with you so they can resonate with you, if that makes sense. So those 3 are the absolute basics. And what also you can do on LinkedIn as well is that you can put up to 5 keywords within your profile on what you specialize in. I think for me, it's like strategy, leadership, entrepreneurship, etc. So I filled in 5 that's kind of very relevant to me. You'll have 5 which is relevant to you, okay? So just make sure that you do that. Now, I know that on previous podcast episodes, I've done some stuff on LinkedIn optimization and about how you go and do that. What I would suggest you do is go to those podcast episodes and take a listen to one we did. We did a great episode with Scott Aaron. He's big here on LinkedIn as well. Adam Haluhan, based over at the Gold Coast in Australia. He's a great guy to also follow from a LinkedIn perspective. But I've also done some solo episodes with regards to optimization on LinkedIn as well. So make sure that you head over to Apple or on Spotify and take a listen. Make sure you get your notebook and pen handy. And, there's some great value bombs from those. So really, really important. So that is just kind of best practices when it comes to LinkedIn, all right? So that's the blue badge. We've covered the blue badge. It's by invitation only. It's not saying that you can apply for It's just something that you need to make sure that following the best practices, etc. Now, the other thing that you can do, actually, depending on what your topic is or your specialism in, you can actually achieve a gold badge, right? So it could be, for example, if you're a lead generation expert, right? It could be top lead generation expert. If you're a social media specialist, it could be top social media specialist, for example. If you are a speaker, it could be top motivational speaker, whatever it might be, okay? Whatever your specialism is, okay? So let me give you some best practice tips about how you can achieve a gold badge on LinkedIn, because guess what? That is as good as the blue badge, all right? Let me give you some best practices and how do you go about doing it. So the best way to achieve what we call a light gold badge on LinkedIn is by going to what we call collaborative articles, all right? So you find these on LinkedIn profile through certain keywords that you might follow. So for example, if you are in leadership, for example, there will be a collaborative article or topic, should we say, on leadership, okay? So find what those topics are, okay? And what collaborative articles is, they are AI generated articles that you can then give your opinions, okay, your epiphanies, your stories, your case studies, whatever it might be, to give the audience or the reader some insightful aha moments, effectively, okay? So what was going to say to you, don't go on to collaborative articles and blitz it all out, do like 3 to 6 hours worth of contributions. Space it out. Do a couple of contributions every couple of days, build it up. And then when LinkedIn sees you as contributing in that particular topic or field for a set period of time, and you're in the top kind of 5%, I believe it is, then they will award you with the gold badge, and they will email you and say, hey, you got the gold badge, congratulations. Now, this is not for life, okay? It is only for 60 days. After 60 days, if you have decided that actually you're not going to continue to contribute on collaborative articles, you're not going to continue to offer insight, they will take it away, okay? So you've got to continue to offer insight. You've got to continue to create content on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn loves education and inspiring on organic content on their platform, effectively, okay? So let me give you 7 best practices to achieve your gold star, all right, your gold badge, okay? So first of all, choose a top voices skill. And there's loads of them listed in the collaborative articles, okay? So that's the first one. Number 2, contribute, okay? Really important to contribute. So, pick a topic. It could be anything, right? It could be how do you use social media to enhance your personal brand, for example, and it'll break it into 6 sections. And then offer some insight, offer your opinions, okay? So that's really, really important. Number 3, be real. What do I mean by that? So sharing your perspective is extremely important, but also use case studies and kind of give perspective, right? So what do I mean by that is it kind of may enhance, when I say by be real, it might be to share life experience. Don't hold back, right? Don't feel like someone's going to copy you, okay? What you offer is completely unique. It's completely subjective. And I think it's extremely important to do that. Number 4, contribute to others. What do I mean by contribute to others is basically like, share, and engage with what other people do, okay? Very, very important. I always find when you contribute to others, they'll support you in your cause as well. Very, very important. Number 5, be consistent. So being consistent, mark it in your calendars to say that you're going to do something isn't really going to take up a huge amount of your time in your day to contribute and add your opinion to a collaborative article and to others. The aim of the game really is to make sure that you're insightful, okay? So when you're offering opinions, when you're offering your insights into what you do in terms of the article, whatever it is, okay? What LinkedIn are looking for is they're looking for people to click on that be insightful button. It might be that you might want to, send it to some interested parties that are following you on LinkedIn and say, hey, I just contributed towards this article. I'd love to get your feedback on it, right? And if you come from that perspective, it's like, okay, well, yeah, you're getting people to click on the be insightful button. So the more insightful that you give to others, the more that LinkedIn favors your platform. All right. So that's really important. And number 7, once you've got your gold badge, ladies and gents, shout out about it from the rooftops. Okay. This is a big deal. It's a really, really, really big deal. All right. So just to summarize in terms of the gold badge. So the gold badge you achieve by contributing to collaborative articles. Okay. So I hope that's been insightful, and hopefully it's given you some ideologies on how you can achieve your badges on LinkedIn. Super important, by the way, because like I said to you, doubling down on your personal brand is going to be the difference between you and the competition. It's going to be the difference between what helps you stand out, what it helps you to, to basically see you as the go-to expert in your industry. Okay. And what LinkedIn does is when you've achieved that badge, they actually like to index your profile higher. They actually like to showcase you. They sell you effectively, okay? Because you're contributing. It's a bit like being in a relationship, okay? The more that you contribute, the more that you get back, okay? And no, it's not kind of an overnight thing, right? It takes time. Anything takes time. So you've got to have this expectation of, being realistic, and also kind of making sure that you haven't set your expectations so high that you believe that it doesn't work. Trust me, this stuff works. It really does work. So really, really important. So listen, guys, hope that you've enjoyed today's live show. First of all, if you have got some value from today, feel free to head over to Buy Me a Coffee. I think it's for Buy Me a Coffee /The Business Strategist. You can buy me a tea and a cup of and a biscuit, as we like to call it in the UK. If you got some value from today, that helps goes towards our production of our podcast. If you're not listening to our podcast, by the way, you're doing yourselves injustice. Go over to Apple or Spotify right now. Go to The Business Strategist and listen to some of the episodes on there. What you'll find that there are some mixtures of solo episodes. And what we are actually starting to do now is we're having guests on the show, but they're actually strategizing, mentoring, and coaching me on my own business that can offer you guys insight. Okay, so it's a really useful aha kind of session. So we're mixing that up on a weekly basis. So hope that helps. If this is the first time you're listening to me, as I mentioned to you, do me a favor, follow me here on LinkedIn if you like my content. And also click on the bell notification in the top right-hand corner. You'll be able to see there's a little bell notification. And that way you won't be able to miss out. So guys, listen, hope today has been of use. I thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Remember, if you're listening to me live, use the hashtag live. And if you listen to me, the recording, use the hashtag replay. I would love to hear from you. Repost this or share this video. Offer a comment. Engage with me. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. And if you are, if you are a top voice on LinkedIn, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to follow you as well. So, and support your cause. Anyway, listen, enough from me. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care. Speak to you soon.